Hey, this is Judah Ross with the Judah Ross Group, and I'm here with my good friend Treva Zamora of David Weekley Homes.
Hello.
She recently moved down to this amazing Sunfield community in Buda and invited me to come down and check it out. And of course, I said yes. So, Treva, so good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, and really looking forward to hearing more about this community. But I want to start out talking about David Weekley and why David Weekley is such a great builder. So can you tell me, I love your backstory of how you got involved with this company.
Yes, I actually came into a David Weekley model home several years ago looking for a home for myself, me and my husband. And we were looking at several other builders, but we landed on David Weekley Homes. And we're so glad we did. It changed our lives forever and for the better. But a lot of the reason why we went with David Weekley Homes is that we could immediately see the quality. The sales consultant that we came into counter with was, very kind, very knowledgeable, great customer service that he provided, as well as the builder that built our home, oversaw the build of our home. He was phenomenal, and just everyone I came into contact with at David Weekley was amazing. So after we closed on our home, we built from the ground up, so we went through the whole process. After we closed on our home, we loved our home so much, I never wanted to leave it. So I figured the next best thing was come to work for David Weekley Homes so I can work in one of their beautiful model homes. And so that's what I did. About 6 months after we closed on our home, I came to work for David Weekley Homes. And actually my husband, 3 months after me, came to work for David Weekley Homes. So we are both here. We're, David Weekley, fans.
What community is your husband?
We are, what he oversees.
Yeah.
He is actually a warranty manager, and
cool.
he oversees Easton Park and Goodnight Ranch.
Nice.
So,
so many great communities y'all are building in.
Yes, definitely. And we have, plenty of different floor plans to meet everybody's, different needs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are in several communities that meet people's different needs, whether, you need a single family or townhome, condo, something with a lower maintenance yard, or you need something with acreage. We're in Dripping Springs and just, several beautiful areas.
Y'all are all over the
in
place.
In Austin and surrounding Austin.
Now tell me about Sunfield specifically. So we're in Buda, really close to Austin. What type of commutes are people looking at if they were to say work in Austin but live down here?
So the commute to downtown Austin, and again, it depends where you're going, but we always just go for downtown Austin. We're actually pretty close, which is why a lot of people choose to live here in Buda. But we're about 15-20 minutes to downtown Austin. We're also about 15-20 minutes to the airport, Austin Bergstrom Airport. So that's another plus. But as Judah said, I'm in Sunfield, the community called Sunfield, and it's one of the most highly sought out communities in our Austin area and within the Austin division for David Weekley Homes. And the reason for that is our proximity to Austin, mm-hmm. to the airport, to shopping, restaurants, just parks, the daily activities, as well as, if you're more into nightlife. There's lots of really fun things to do here in Buda.
Yeah,
and
it's really
also,
booming out here. That's
yes,
amazing.
And also you're, still near Austin if you wanted to go do something in Austin. But, the prices are a little bit more affordable. You can get a little bit more bang for your buck here. And then the other reason why Sunfield is highly sought out is we have not one, not two, but 3 amenity centers. Wow. And 2 of them are lazy river amenity
That's
centers,
amazing.
Which is actually what we're known for. Sunfield is known for the lazy river amenity center. And so people really love that. And then there's also an Sunfield Elementary School within the community. And the community, as you drive through it, you can see how it's very well maintained.
It was beautiful. Just driving in here, I was really impressed.
12 miles of hike and bike trails. And you're near, again, to shopping and restaurants, really great restaurants. and daycare facilities if anybody, for families, and again the elementary school is here. So it's a very quiet neighborhood, but also there's still a lot of activity going on, and you have some really friendly neighbors.
Amazing. Now, what do prices start out here for the David Weekley homes?
We are starting at $375.
Oh, that's great.
And then we go up to $450.
Okay. Yeah, we're in the model home here. I'm going to do a little tour of it in a second, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I've always loved the David Weekley homes, but this one really just kind of knocks your socks off. It's something else. Okay, so starting at $375, what type of financing offers? I know a lot of new builders
currently
are doing that.
Things change, but currently we're offering a $599 with a 2-1 buy down.
Okay.
And then we are also offering up to $10,000 in closing cost for any homes that can close by the end of June 2025.
Fantastic.
So that's huge. The other thing I was sharing with Judah is that I like to ask the buyer, what are they looking for, and find what are they trying to accomplish.
Right.
With the financing incentives, are you trying to keep more money in your pocket up front, or save more money, in the long run? And so, and I asked that question because, we can always kind of tailor our incentives to the buyer's needs. So maybe they don't need up to $10,000 in closing costs, and they want to buy down the rate, a little bit further. Okay, well, let's talk about that, and we can just, essentially, I have a bucket of money, and we can kind of use it to best fit your client's needs, or you as a buyer needs, whoever's listening to this video.
Sure. No, y'all have been always very, very easy to work with, flexible, and I think you take great care of the buyers and agents out there. You mentioned when you bought that you had gone through the design process. So I know you have a few move-in ready homes here, but tell me briefly about what that design process is if someone wants to be there from the ground up and kind of have more input on their home.
Sure. We are also offering a great promotion for to-be-built homes. We have quite a few lots that we just opened up, so you can choose from, if you want a view backed up to a green belt, or if you want a corner lot, or, if that doesn't matter to you, you just want to be able to pick out all the things in your home, yourself. We are offering design it your way. And what that is you can, we will give you half off of your design options up to $60,000. So the highest discount you can get is $30,000. So all you put in your home is $40,000 of upgrades, then we would do $20,000 off. If it's $50,000 in design, then it's $25,000 and on and upward. So but that's also a great way to, that gives you all some flexibility in your timeline. If you have a home to sell, if you have, you need more time to save more money, you can always build from the ground up. And our timelines for to be built is 7 to 8 months. Okay. So depending on the size of the home that you're purchasing, whether it's single story, 2-story. So latest we want to get your home started, if you want to be in by the end of the year, would most likely be June. June's going to be the latest we want to get your home started. So you can get in by the end of the year.
Gotcha.
The other thing is that although we're not offering a financing incentive for the Design Your Way promotion, if you do use our lender, our lender will give you $5,000 that you can use towards your closing costs or to buy down the interest rate. So you use that. And then we also take care of your owner's title policy, which can be anywhere, a value of up anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000. So again, that saves some money, and that's a part of closing costs, the owner's title policy. And then we also offer a free refi within 6 months to 2 years after closing on your home. So that's a great win, if the rates were to go down in the first 2 years of you living in your home, you can always refinance for free. So just lots of great opportunities and things to take advantage of right now.
Awesome. Well, I know incentives are always changing, but I think what y'all have right now is fantastic, and I know there'll be great ones coming soon as well. Thank you so much for having me out there. Is there anything else you want to add about this community?
No, I mean, you guys have to come and see it for yourself. Yeah. Just give Judah a call here, and he'll get a hold of me and schedule an appointment, and you guys can come in and talk to me and visit with me, and you definitely won't be disappointed. No. It's a beautiful community.
It really is gorgeous. I'm stunned just walking around, driving around here. I can't wait to see the amenity centers and show y'all at home some of the this model home that we have right here. But give me a call, and let's do a quick tour. Thanks.
Bye.
We're in the Sunfield community in Buda. This is the Countryside model home by David Weekley. It's just over 2,000 square feet, and we're going to take a tour of this beautiful home. right, Treva, tell me about this home.
Hi there, I'm Treva. I'm with David Weekley Homes, and we're standing in front of 186 Flowering Senna Drive in Buda, Texas, and in an awesome community called Sunfield. This home is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,681 square feet, and it is called the Carrington Floor Plan, and we lovingly have named this home the Sapphire Social. As you can see, navy blue, it's beautiful navy blue outside, and it's carried inside the home, throughout the home, in the kitchen and in the bathrooms, as well as some tile in the utility room, some fun tile in the utility room. But come inside.
Awesome. And what's this listed at?
At $424,990.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we're still here in the Sunfield community, new build community in Buda, and we're going to take a look at the Castlerock model home that's available. at the Brightland Homes, another builder here in Sunfield in Buda, and we're looking at the Juniper floor plan. This model home is actually for sale right now. It's fully furnished, 4-bed, 3-bath. It's coming in at just under $550, and it's 2170 square foot. Let's take a look. Here again, and I'm here with Haley of Pulte and Centex Homes in the beautiful Sunfield community in Buda. We're making our rounds, but I've been meaning to stop in here, and I want to learn more about what you have to offer. Can you give me kind of a quick overview of the community first, and then we can talk about your homes here?
Yeah, definitely. So Sunfield is full of amenities. It's pretty much endless. We'd like to call it like resort style living. It's going to be pretty much the only community south of Austin that is like this. So we're a master plan community. Pulte has been here for about 10 years and we're continuing to grow. We're actually building in 2 new sections right now. Our model row is going to be located right next to our first 1,000-foot lazy river. Now you don't have to float the lazy river the entire time. There is kind of like a little pool section that you can just
I went out and visited it, and I was like, I want to buy a home here.
Yeah,
right now.
it's
It was
so
very
nice.
tempting.
On the weekends, especially like Saturdays driving by, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I was them
Yeah.
right now.
It looked amazing.
It's so cool, but there's awnings there too, so you don't have to sit in the sun. All of our mailboxes are going to be covered, so if you have rainy weather like we have lately, it's pretty nice. And then we have Sunbright Activity Center, which you should definitely go check out if you haven't already. There we're going to have a junior Olympic-sized lap pool. We have a dog park, and then also an actual HOA office, which I'd never heard of before.
That's pretty cool. So you can actually go and talk to someone in person instead of sending out emails into the universe, never getting anything back. Yeah.
Not a random neighbor.
Yeah, that's
so
really cool.
It's super neat. You can go ask your questions in person. And then something really nice about our newest section is it's going to be about a 5-minute walk from the second lazy river that we're building.
Very cool.
Yes, and it's probably gonna open about a month from now.
Okay.
So it should be ready right in time for summer. So with that, there's gonna be a splash pad, a children's park that people are already using. And there's also a lake right there as well.
Yeah.
So you can kayak, and then also all of our ponds here in Sunfield are going to be ready for catch and release fishing.
Really?
Yes.
They're going to stock them all?
They're already stocked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
cool.
If you're ever driving through the community and see people fishing, that is allowed.
Okay.
But there's also retention ponds, so probably don't fish in a retention pond.
Sure.
You're going to be there for a minute. But Yeah, it's
Amazing.
a great place to be.
No, I'm blown away by the amenities here. Now, can you explain to me real quickly, Pulte and Centex? So it's two different brands you have
Yes.
under the same company?
Yeah, so Pulte acquired Centex in the early 2000s. Our mission here in Sunfield is kind of just to have a home for everybody, right? So our pricing really, really varies. Our Centex brand is always going to have all appliances included, blinds too. Blinds are a pain to put in, so when you're already there, it's like, yes. But the reason we do that is just to create a seamless, experience for the buyer.
Gotcha.
It makes it so much easier, for a lot of people. If you're buying your first house, you're not thinking, how much is a refrigerator, how much are my blinds, how much are, washer and dryer. All of that is included with our Centex.
Truly move-in ready.
Exactly. Like day of, you can go out to the grocery store that night and you're ready.
That's awesome.
But we do it with most of our other homes as well.
Okay.
Actually, right now you can't find a house by Pulte or Centex that doesn't already have a full appliance package included.
I love
with
that.
blinds.
And what about price points? What are we starting at for Centex and Pulte?
Yeah, so right now, our best price home for Centex is going to be $364, but with that, all of our homes we're offering 6% flex cash. So we can kind of work and see what works for the buyer, right?
Okay.
If you want the best price on your home, we can contribute that 6% directly towards the price.
Oh, that's
if you
great.
need some closing costs covered, we've got you there. If you want a really great interest rate,
Use
we
it to
also
buy
have
down.
that. Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today and telling us a little bit about the community and the homes here. I'm excited to do some video tours and show everyone these beautiful builds.
Definitely do it, Judah.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, this is the Taft by Centex Homes. Again, this is a brand owned by Pulte. This one we're going to look at right now is the Taft. It is 1,517 square feet. It's got it's a 3-2 plus a study, and they have, I think, one available right now. It's listed at $364. Let's take a quick look. This is the Lockidge by Pulte Homes. Pulte is their higher end floor plans and models. This is a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, plus a study / spec flex space. and it's listed at 450,000, and square footage is coming in right around 2,331. Come on in. Home of the day. I'm here at Chesmar Homes. This is the Malia, over 2,600 square foot. Chesmar is, from my understanding, the highest end builder here. I just took a peek inside. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm excited for all of you to take a look as well.